Welcome to the Abrams Boxing Show, powered by Last Out Media and brought to you by www.15rounds.com, the worldwide leader in boxing news. Also, Abrams Boxing PR Media and Broadcasting, the industry standard for boxing media relations and play-by-play broadcasting. Also, check out www.abramsboxing.com, Abrams Boxing on YouTube, as well as M. Abrams Boxing on Twitter and Marc Abrams Boxing on Instagram. Hello, everyone. I'm Marc Gaines, who's just made his professional debut in had a chance to catch up with him after he won his professional debut. Last weekend we had a lot of good fights, a lot of fights of significance, and the most significant of all of them was the very anticipated WBO Junior Lightweight Championship match that saw Emmanuel Navarrete go to 38-1 as he scored a 12-round unanimous decision over former two-division world champion Oscar Valdez. Valdez now 31-2. That took place at the Desert Diamond Arena in Glendale, Arizona. Navarrete was his punch output was relentless on Oscar Valdez. Valdez's his right eye was severely damaged. Maybe it broke his orbital bone, and maybe his eye was swollen shut. Valdez did have some success in the later rounds, but it really wasn't enough, as there was some good two-way action that Navarrete got the better of. Scores are 116, 112, 118, 110, and 119, 109. I don't think it was 119, 109. Maybe 117, 111, 116, 112. I could see, but Emmanuel Navarrete over Oscar Valdez, on that fight. Yes, Valdez made it a little interesting down the stretch, but it was all, for the most part, Emmanuel Navarrete in Glendale, Arizona. The co-feature saw 2016 Olympian Landolfo Delgado go to 18-0 as he scored a 10-round decision over Jair Valtierra. Valtierra now 16-3. That was the co-feature. Scores are 99-91 twice and 98-92 for Landolfo Delgado. Saturday afternoon here in the United States, evening in England, former two-time heavyweight champion world Anthony Joshua went to 26-3, scored his 23rd knockout as he knocked out late substitution Robert Helenius. Helenius now 32-5. Went round 7. That was at the O2 Arena in London, England. The first 6+ rounds, pretty pedestrian fight. Saw one on Twitter saying, writing Joshua off. He's done. He's been where he's going. It's over for Joshua. Then towards the end of round 5, round 6, he started, doing a little bit more. In round 7, he landed a huge right hand that knocked Helenius squarely out on his back, and the fight was over. Rumors now of a fight between Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder going to pick up steam, maybe for late in the year or maybe early in 2024. Co-feature saw former heavyweight title challengers Derek Chisora scores 34th victory against 12 losses. 10-round unanimous decision over Gerald Washington. Washington is now 26-1. Chisora is coming off his first the rematch with Tyson Fury that happened in December. He pressed the action throughout the fight. The 41-year-old Washington, he had some moments in the fight, had some good moments with his jab and right hand. Scores were 97-94, 96-94, and 98-93 for Derek Chisora. Undefeated IBF number 1 ranked heavyweight in the world, Filip Hrgović went to 16-0, notched his 13th knockout, scored a 12th round stoppage over IBF number 13, WBO number 14, Dempsey McKean. McKean now 22-1. Hrgović will keep his mandatory spot, and will look forward to the winner of the Alexander Usyk Daniel Dubois fight on August 26th. wasn't really a fight, much like the Chisora fight. Not much happened. Herjavec rocked McKean once, I believe it was round 9. There's a lot of holding. Finally, round 12, a right hand to the jaw by Herjavec on McKean. McKean kind of dumped into the ropes. Referee stopped the fight mercifully. Former world champion Emmanuel Rodriguez, Saturday night on Showtime from the MGM National Harbor in Oxon Hill, Maryland. Emmanuel Rodriguez went to 22-2. He won an easy 12-round unanimous decision over Melvin Lopez to win the IBF, the vacant IBF Bantamweight Championship, formerly held by Naoya Inoue. All 4 of his belts now that he vacated at 118 pounds are now filled in. Rodriguez just outworked Lopez during the fight. Rodriguez had a swollen eye, but he fought through that. Scores were 120 to 105. Lopez went down 3 times in the 12th round, made it to the final bell. We said scores were 120 to 105 on all cards. And a bout between undefeated super lightweights, Gary Antoine Russell made it still perfect. 17-0, 17 knockouts, stopped Kent Cruz in the first round. That was the co-feature bout live on Showtime. Cruz was dropped twice. 2:39 was the time of the stoppage. This is Russell's eighth first round stoppage. He's going to be a real player in that 140-pound division. The fight I may want to see him maybe in a fight or two. I don't know if Russell's quite ready. Would be a Subriel Matias fight. Matias is going to fight Ergashev next, but maybe we'll get a Matias Gary Russell fight. How about Gary Russell and Jerome Boots Ennis? They were amateur rivals. Those must have been some fights between those two guys, because those are maybe 2 of the best young fighters in the business right now. In the opening bout on the Showtime triple header, 36-year-old two-time Olympian Gabriel Maestre went to 6-1, 5 knockouts. Scored an upset as he took out highly regarded Trayvon Marshall. Marshall now 8-1, second-round stoppage. Maestre dropped Marshall hard in the second round and finished him off. Another knockdown into the ropes. Time was 2:06. Maestre now ranked number 7. He was as much as an 8-1 underdog, and this is supposed to be a fight that Marshall is going to look good in, and we're going to be talking about him on Monday morning. Instead is Gabriel Maestre, who may get in line for a world title shot. We shall see. Also undefeated Friday night, undefeated WBO number 2 ranked 130-pounder Albert Bell stopped Presco Carcosia. Carcosia now 11-3, 1-9 knockouts after 5 rounds at the OT Arena in Atlanta, the overtime boxing series, week 2. Bell scored a knockdown in round 5, and Carcosia's corners had enough. That fight was over, and Bell won the fight, and he keeps his number 2 ranking. On Wednesday night, super featherweight eliminator Isaac Otar Oronesian went to 14-0 with 7 knockouts as he defeated former world champion Roger Gutierrez. Gutierrez now 27-5-1. That took place at the White Sands Event Center, Plant City, Florida. Oronesian rocked Gutierrez in round 1. Gutierrez, dropped Oronesian in round 2. Oronesian wasn't deterred as he continued to pressure Gutierrez. Gutierrez was deducted a point for holding. Oronesian scored a knockdown in round 10 and then finished him off. The bout was stopped after the 10th and final round. Thursday night in New York, undefeated flyweights were in action. Andy Dominguez scored a 6-round majority decision to go to 10-0 over Muhammad Arieti. That took place Thursday night at Sony Hall in New York City. Scores were 58-56 twice and 57-57. Friday night, I was in St. Louis to see Vaughn Alexander, the middleweight, score a first-round knockout over Brian Chavez of Argentina. So Vaughn Alexander is going to look for another opportunity to maybe upset a big fighter. He's already got a couple of those. Money Pound. He also defeated Luis Arias as well. A interesting fighter made his professional debut on the card, a fighter by the name of Akeem Cheatham. Cheatham was a 23-time national amateur. He's an actor. He's going to be in a movie. We're going to talk about that in the interview. So get to know Akeem Cheatham. 23-time national amateur champion. I'm sure you don't want to hear about that too much now because you're a 1-0 professional. Akeem Cheatham wins second round stoppage here in St. Louis. Talk about it.
I mean, it was just it was a good opportunity, and I couldn't get any fights, so I was so grateful that I was able to get this one. And I'm glad I got finally in there and got to see what it's like and feel how it is and see how the punches feel. And I'm excited. I had a lot of fun.
You fought a guy probably didn't have the greatest technique. A little awkward in there. First round you came out. You just wanted to feel him out in the first round, basically see what he was or wasn't going to do.
If I'm being totally honest, I just wanted him to survive. Like I can tell within the first 5 seconds, it wasn't gonna be nothing. So I was giving him grace, seeing how he reacted to punches, and the second round, I just was trying to get him out of there.
They were both uppercuts, I believe, with both knockdowns.
Yeah, I'm not really satisfied with how it went because in my opinion, I mean he quit. I wanted it to be a cold knockout. That's how I want a lot of my fights to be.
You, like you said, you had trouble making your pro debut. You finally got it out of the way. Any plans yet for the second fight?
I plan to have the second fight as soon as possible. Just keep racking up wins, keep entertaining the fans, keep entertaining all the world, and hell, we'll see what comes next.
I know your family's from Philadelphia. Philadelphia's a pretty hot town. You like to fight there?
I would love to fight in Philly. But I was raised out in Vegas, and to me, Vegas is always going to be my home. So I want to fight in Vegas next, make my way to Philly, just fight in front of my people, my family.
Well, what is next for you is a movie on August 17th on Tubi called Rock the Boat. You want to tell the fans out there about it?
Yeah, I got my small feature, but it's an important one. You can definitely see me. I'm not a background or anything. I'm playing young Jaleel, and Rock the Boat August 17th. I'm super excited for that. I feel like I'm going to have a lot more opportunities coming in the movie industry and the film world, period. And I can't wait to mix boxing and film together and make something special the world hasn't seen before.
Where do people find you on social media?
Akeem Cheatham on Instagram. If you don't know how to spell it, it's AkeemCheatham, and Akeem the Boxer on TikTok. And yeah.
There you have it. Congratulations. First wins the first pro debut, and hope we'll see you very soon back in the ring.
Yeah. It's going to be great.
Congratulations. There you have it, Akeem Cheatham, who made a successful pro debut. You can see he's a very a kid who very can relate to the public, very articulate, and from what I understand, he's going to be. I didn't really get to see much because he was in with a no hoper in there, but he's got skills, he's got quicks in there. So I'll be interested in tracking the career of Akeem Cheatham. Saturday night, I was also in Des Moines, Iowa. I caught a fight for BXNG TV. So check that out. Those fights out. It was a good fight by 15th round promotions. This week, not a huge week. MVP prospects will have Nestor Bravo taking on Will Madera. The overtime Elite Series on the Zone. They're gonna be like against each other pretty much all on Friday night. You'll see. Who will we see on there? We're gonna have. I know Kurt Scobie's going to be on there. The good-looking 140-pound fighter that fought on Showbox. Money Pal the fourth will be on the card. Leanna Cruz, who we've had on the show before, Asa Stevens, and Javier Zamaron will be on the card as well. So Friday Night Live on the Zone. That's pretty much where you're going to want to be this weekend with those two prospect series. The good thing about the Zone, you can watch the other one either the next, later that night or the next day. So it's a pretty cool thing to be able to watch all these young prospects come up pretty much together. So I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing a Friday night. Saturday night, BXNG TV will be live from North Jersey. John Leonardo will be in the main event. Also, Massachusetts between Stephen Sumter and James Perkins. A couple of undefeated super middleweights will be in action against each other in a really interesting fight from Granite Chin Promotions. So a couple actually more than a couple news items this week. Let me just get to the news items real quickly as we're coming across the screen. Got them right here. Okay. Couple. Yeah, there we go. Sorry about that. We had the press conference yesterday in New York City to officially announce Canelo Alvarez taking on Jermell Charlo. That will take place September 30th at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Two undisputed champions in their going at it. Matchroom announced a bunch of events that will take place in the United States and Mexico for the second half of 2023 live on the Zone. On September 15th, Angel Fierro, 21-1 and 2, will take on Brian Zamparipa, 13-1 in Tijuana, Mexico. WBO and W for the NABA WBO NABO lightweight championship on November the 18th. Diego Pacheco, the undefeated super middleweight, 1916 knockouts, would take on Marcelo Corceres. Corceres, you remember the guy who dropped Edgar Belangas. That'd be an interesting fight. December 16th, Jesse Rodriguez will take on Sonny Edwards for the IBF and WBO World Flyweight titles. WBA regular in other news, WBA regular minimum weight champion Eric Rosa will be back in the ring after almost a 20-month layoff. He'll take on Venezuelan challenger Orlando Pino, 14-1, 8 knockouts. Rose has been going through a whole thing with the Thamian Yonama thing of Thailand. The fight was supposed to happen 2 or 3 times. All kinds of craziness, but he's going to stay busy while that gets worked out. As we mentioned, Canelo Alvarez will take on Jermell Charlo. Tickets are now available through AXS.com. Use the code PBC. That will be for the pre-sale. Again, the fight takes place on September 30th in Las Vegas. Some other news items this week. Let me see here. Other news items. We just now, one more fight card was announced September 23rd in Orlando, Florida. Richardson Hitchens takes on Jose Zepeda. That's a very interesting fight. That'll be for the WBC Silver and IBF North American Super Lightweight titles, as well as a battle for the unification in the welterweight division between Jessica McCaskill and Sandy Ryan. So that's our show for the week, a little abbreviated show. I'd like to thank Akeem Cheatham for joining us this week, and we'll be back with a big show next week as we get ready for a lot of things. Dubois and Usyk will be previewing that fight. So I want to thank everyone for joining us. Join us next week on the Abrams Boxing Show.